Hi, I'm Mr. V. This is Algebra 1B, the second half, and we're starting with exponents. If you hadn't noticed, when I post on the stream, there's very few things here. There will be the disclosure, how to get around in the course, and then there's two links, one for Desmos and one for Khan Academy. And those are the links that you will follow all the day. When I post in classwork, I'm telling you by day. So we're on the third day. This is lesson 5.3. Unit 5 is on exponents. This is about division with powers. And in this, you'll notice here's the lesson, and it says go to Desmos. Where do you find Desmos? Don't just type in Desmos. You need to go to the Desmos link for my class, which is found under the stream, and go to 5.3, which should be the first one. There should be only 3 that are posted under this link, and then open it and begin working while I call roll. This is the way that you would do normally. Now, this particular unit is about division with powers. And by the end of the unit, you should be able to say, I can recognize and use the negative exponent property in writing and solving exponent quotients. So the very first thing I asked you to do is to fill out this table. And a couple of things about this table. Let me see if I can go to it. When you type in a times, like this times button between these two, between 2 and 2, you're going to type in star, which is the shift F8 or shift 8. Shift 8 is the keystroke that you would type in to do this. If you're going to do an exponent, it's going to be the up caret, which is your shift 6 key. So, for example, 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 cubed. 3, 3, 3, 3. There's 6 threes, 4 threes, and then you have a 6. But wait a minute. 6 is the same as 2 times 3. I could actually write this a little bit different. I could change this to 2 times 3. Now we have 4 threes, and we have 5 threes and 4 twos. So I could write it like this. If I were typing this in, I would go 2 shift key 4. So I would use the 2 shift F6, the up caret's 4, then a star, then 3 up caret 5. That's the way that you would type this in. Now, when you multiply this out, and you can multiply out the numbers, that's what we do when we write out, don't multiply out the variables, but we write this out and you plug it into your calculator, this is what you get. Here I have 2 2's, that's 2. 1, 2, 3 x's, x cubed. 2 y's, that's 1 here. And then there's 1 z, and you could write this as z, or you could write it as z to the 1. To expand this, well, my 2 times 2 is 4. And I still have x cubed, y squared, and z to the 1. For these, if I write this out, I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times x times 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. Total of 6 x's. And what is 2 times 2? 4 times 2 times 2 times 4 is 16 times 2 is just 32. This one, you could start it off by saying this is 3x, and we're going to multiply it by itself 2 times. 3x times 3x times x. But I want to put all of the numbers together, so I have 3 times 3, and all of the x's together, x times x times x. So I have 9x cubed. And this one is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. I had one student try to tell me that the negative times the negative is a positive. And while that may be true, here this is not a negative. This is a negative squared. You do the exponent first. A negative times a negative 2 is a positive 4 times a negative 2 is a negative 8. Okay. Then we had another table to fill out. Oh my goodness, another table. So let's look at this other table. 3 times 3 is 3 squared. And then I'm going to the 1, 0, negative 1, 2. This is going to 9 and then to 3. It looks like I'm dividing by 3 each time. This isn't 0. 3 to the 0 power is is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And this would be 1 over 3 times 1 over 3, which is 1 over 9 and 1. We'll be talking more about the zero product, the zero power product property tomorrow, which means anything that raised to the zero power is 1, except 0. You cannot raise 0 to a power and make it into a 1. You can't do that. And these negative exponents is the same as a positive exponent when it's flipped. Okay? So this is the same as 1 over 3 squared. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow as well. Here's a summary page of what we're doing. This is all the properties of exponents, and we're talking about the quotient of powers. So if you have the same base and a different power, you subtract the exponents. And the power of a quotient. So if you have a quotient is raised to a power, just like with multiplication, you have to distribute that power. Something to read. I've got some notes here for you to look at and to look over. Something to watch. There's 2 videos, one here and here. And then something to more to watch, which is my demonstration. And then there's something to do. Now I'll do some of this demonstration for you. These are actual examples from the homework. If I can find my page here. Some examples from the homework. When you have a quotient and you have the same base, this is the same base, I can subtract the exponents. This is the same as 13 to the 9 minus 7, which is 13 squared, which is 169. Here we have the same base. This is not quite the same. I've got a negative AB. So I'm going to write this as negative 1 to the 8th power times AB to the 8th divided by AB to the 2nd. Now I've got the same base here and here. So I could write this as a negative 1 to the 8th power is a positive 1. So my answer is going to be a positive. I'll have AB raised to the 8 minus 2, which is 6. And when you raise the product to a power, we have to distribute the power. So this is the same as a to the 6th times b to the 6th. Here, I'm going to simplify. I'm going to separate my parts. So I have the same as 18 over 42 times a to the 15th divided by a to the 1 power, b to the 7th divided by b to the 5th power. Now I've got these quotients, and these are the same exponents. I can simplify this. 6 goes into 18 3 times, 6 goes into 42 7 times. So that's 3/7. Here we have a to the 15 minus 1, which is a to the 14th, b to the 7 minus 5, which is b squared. And this one we could do the same way. We could, since this is the same base as this one, I can subtract the exponents first. So I have a, b, c to the 5 minus 3, and then you have d to the 2 minus 1. This is 1 when you're dividing. So I end up with ABC squared times d. And when you have a product and you have a power of a product, you have to distribute that exponent. So this is a squared, b squared, c squared times d. There's a second video for you to watch, which is where they explain the power of quotients rule. And then I have a few examples to do it from it. And these are also from your homework for tonight, so you can actually look at this over and see what's on your homework. This is when I have a quotient and it's raised to a power. I have to distribute this power. This could be written as negative 1 times a divided by 9 cubed. So I'm going to distribute the negative 1 cubed times a cubed divided by 9 cubed. So distributing this to each part of this. Well, a negative times a negative is a negative. We have a cubed, and on the bottom we have 9 cubed, which is 81 times 9, 729. Here we're going to multiply, do everything to the 4th power. So I have 3 to the 4th power. I can't simplify anything here, otherwise I would first. Times a to the 4th power, times b to the 4th power, times c to the 4th power, divided by 2 to the fourth power. Now my numbers I can simplify. 3 to the fourth power is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, or 9 times 9, which is 81. 4 times 4 is 16. And then we have a to the fourth, b to the fourth, c to the fourth. On this one, I'm going to simplify what's inside the parentheses first. So I have 14 divided by 21 is 2 over 3. If I have a cubed divided by a to the fifth, that would be a times a on the top, a on the bottom, and these become a giant one. They cancel. So I got 2 a's on the bottom and a b squared. And we're going to cube all of that. So I have 2 cubed over 3 cubed times b squared cubed over a squared cubed. We have a power of a power. We multiply the exponents. We multiply these values. So we have 2 cubed is 8. 3 cubed is 27. And I'm left with b to the 2 times 3, which is b to the sixth, and a to the sixth. I think I'll stop there. We did these other in class, and the rest of this is just practice. So good luck and success.